There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play? They're here.
Welcome to the Horror Cut.
And we're back again for another episode of the Horror Cut. So we're doing this on a Sunday. We're recording a few episodes. That's the best way to do it. This is not what you've been waiting for. I know everybody out there has been waiting on House. I totally get that, right? I get it. But we're not doing House now. We're doing From Dusk Till Dawn. I'm Stig, by the way, still.
And I'm still Gary, and we figured House is so good it needs another rewatch because we wrote our notes so long ago.
It is mad. I've seen the film loads and I'm still like, what the hell happened to it? But I think it just shows you, but when you're sitting watching a film and try to review it, you're writing everything down. A lot of the time you are paying a lot of attention to it, but it's not as if you're just sitting there absorbing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a strange thing.
But that's not what we're talking about today. We are talking about what?
We are talking about Robert Rodriguez's classic From Dusk Till Dawn. And we watched this at Queen's Park Arena Outdoor Cinema in July.
It was July, yes. Yeah.
Which was cool. Got to interview some folk. Really, really fun getting to see it on a big screen with an audience,
A hyped audience as
hyped
well.
audience. Yeah, man, they were up for it, and there was a load of Uber fans there as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, we actually got to interview some of them, as you said, and what I might do just now is play some of their reactions to it.
Horror fans, how we doing? Steg here from the Horror Cup. We are at Queen's Park Open Air Cinema. So we're here tonight to see From Dusk Till Dawn, starring George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino, directed by Robert Rodriguez, and we are looking forward to it.
Hangs like a dead man from a white oak tree.
Has anyone here not seen it?
Me. Yeah, first time. I know kind of what it's about. Yeah, he's told me about it. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, Selena, have you seen the film before, From Dusk Till Dawn?
I have.
Yeah?
I like the fact that it seems to be two movies split apart. There's the first bit that is kind of like really serious, and then the second part is a little bit more fun.
I like that it's just starts out one way and goes completely the other way. It's not what you really expect it's going to be.
I love Salma Hayek.
That's a pick. Yeah.
Santanical Pandemonium was my gay awakening.
Yeah.
Salma Hayek.
Yeah, that's fair. That's got to be something.
That's what I'm here for.
That wasn't the first time you saw that film?
Definitely not.
I think it's my 30th. Yeah, I've never seen it on a big screen, so it was nice. Yeah, it was good. I saw it when I was about 13, so far too young to be seeing it.
I was probably just like a wee teenager at the time, like 14 or something like that. I think I borrowed my dad's copy when they were out one night.
How many times do you think you've saw it?
Between 5 or 10.
The first time I saw it, I was way too young,
Yeah.
and I just did not get it.
Yeah.
Like the bit where they're like, "Oh, pussy for a penny."
Yeah.
I absolutely loved From Dusk Till Dawn, especially seeing it with a live audience. The laughs came at the right moment. For me, though, I actually preferred the first half this time to the second half.
Everybody be cool. You be cool.
I actually just really loved seeing the characters and how, like, you know, the hostages started to bond with Seth. They started to respect each other.
I was coming into my goth phase,
Okay.
and my mum was like, "You love the Lost Boys, try this."
I watched it first just liking Quentin Tarantino films, not really knowing what it was going to be. And yeah, I haven't seen it in years, so I just come back and see it tonight.
I've not seen it in maybe 10 years or something like that, so watch it in front of people, with people, just everybody was just pissing themselves laughing.
Just Danny Trejo, I love that man.
I think like the first time you see Danny Trejo turn,
That's when I got it tattooed on me.
the scene for me.
Yes.
Yeah, we were sitting down there and we were trying to figure out like like foot fetish wise, which is the worst Tarantino film for
It might be that.
Tarantino's a creepy bastard in it, but it works.
So I know we spoke about our thoughts of the film at Queen's Park, but
for our audience listening, what do you think of this film?
Man, it's so good, isn't it? It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
That's it. The end. Mike's down.
So I actually told Stephen this, and it is quite funny that I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but my Mormon aunt introduced me to this film, which I think is hilarious when I say it like that. She wasn't a Mormon when she introduced me. She now is one. But it was, she introduced me to it. Didn't tell me about the midpoint change. Just put it on.
What midpoint change? We talk about?
Yeah, we'll get into that. But I, as a kid, when I was first introduced to this film, I loved it. This time around watching it, I still really enjoyed the film. It was so good watching it with an audience as well. But for me, I enjoyed the first half better. But we'll go into that.
That's fair enough. It's funny because as we're downstairs, they're taking a break from the podcast marathon that we're on right now. We asked Karen, Gary's partner, have you seen From Dusk Till Dawn? And she was like, no. I went, no, you should watch it, check it out, She was like, is that a vampire film? I went, no, it's not a vampire film. It's not a vampire film at all. I don't know where you got that idea from. And she was like, okay. So she might actually watch it and not know a thing about it. But anywho.
So it's your turn to give the synopsis.
Okay. Ding! So the Gecko brothers are on the loose from the law, and they are heading to Mexico. And to try and get across the border, they take hostage a family who are driving in their RV, and they get to Mexico and shit hits the fan.
Some batshit hits the fan.
Batshit crazy stuff happens.
Somewhere in the middle of nowhere, two of America's most dangerous criminals are headed for the border.
Earlier today, during a daylight liquor store robbery in Big Springs, the Gecko brothers killed another Texas Ranger. That changes the death toll to 16.
One night is all that stands between them and freedom.
Now, this is my kind of place.
But it's going to be one hell of a night. From Robert Rodriguez. From Quentin Tarantino. From Dusk Till Dawn.
They meet Dracula. There you go.
Before that, they meet a lot of pussy.
All different types of pussy. Loads of different types of pussy.
So, what's your first positive point on From Dusk Till Dawn?
Dun, 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 dun,
Or should we just go straight into, that midpoint change?
What midpoint are we talking about? Aye, so it's so difficult to I kept thinking to myself,
It's like you can't talk about King Kong without the monkey.
I know, it's exactly that. I'm trying to think if there's been a podcast out there who's talked about this film and not mentioned it.
Or not from the get-go, yeah.
The Gecko.
Ah!
Let's just talk about it. When was it released? 1996. Okay. Try to think back to when I first saw it. Definitely VHS, DVD. Apparently, I think this might have been the last film to be done VHS.
It's funny you saying that because I read that just today, actually, it was really weird. I read that it was a history of violence. Cronenberg film?
Cronenberg film, aye.
Yeah. So that's interesting that that's true. So it'd have probably been about the same time, actually.
Same time, yeah.
Yeah.
So Tarantino, up until this point, had made... I know he doesn't make this film, he's not the director, but,
I'm sure we'll talk about that as well.
Yeah. He wrote it with Robert Kurtzman, and where am I going with this?
Who wrote it with Robert Kurtzman?
Tarantino.
So I actually heard as well that this was they'd already shot a proof of concept.
Way back.
Yeah. And there was a script for that, and they shot some of that. and then that script was then handed over to Tarantino to expand upon.
Okay. So it's not his original idea then, I guess.
No, but I do know that he got paid. It was Tarantino's first paid writing gig.
Was it?
And he used that money to then help with Reservoir Dogs.
Did he not write?
Or to help with Pulp
True
Fiction,
Romance?
sorry. I think this was written before that, though.
Was it?
First, well, it's the first one.
shit.
Okay, so there might be a confusion there. Like, I'm not the biggest Tarantino fan, but maybe that get paid to write True Romance.
Aye, okay.
Maybe it got bought off of him, but this was his first gig that he got paid. He got $1,500.
That's it. Wow. Fucking hell. That's amazing. Okay, I mean, like, okay, so the film starts with Richie and Seth, played by George Clooney, are in a store, and you've got the sheriff, Texas Park, Errol McGraw, played by Michael Parks, and it's funny. It's quite a funny scene, isn't it?
He's Michael Parks is great in it as well.
Brilliant at it, man.
And what a twist where they're talking about the Gecko brothers, and we as the audience don't know they're in that shop. Michael Parks, McGraw, doesn't know, but the attendant does, and he plays it so smooth.
Brilliant.
And it's funny how smooth he plays it, but Richie still doesn't trust him and thinks he's trying to give the sheriff the nod, where actually we don't know, so he's clearly not. It's crazy.
It's so good. And then obviously, Richie just decides I've had enough of this shit, doesn't he?
But also when McGraw and the attendant are talking, it's just like it's Quentin Tarantino dialogue, like that idea of they're just talking about. It's the same in like Reservoir Dogs when they're just talking about tipping. They're just talking about day-to-day life, and then they got on to the Gecko brothers like through conversation, and that's like the first signs of early Tarantino doing his thing there as well. But that it's one of the best scenes of the full film, actually.
One of the best, and it's a great way to set it up. I mean, obviously, so it's setting up to be, for us the viewer, just a crime thriller hostage grindhousey kind of film.
Yeah, you also get to know. In that one scene, you get to know how, Seth reacts to certain situations. You get to know how Richie reacts as well. You get a feel for those characters. You can tell that one of them in particular is mentally unstable from that scene.
I mean, I guess they both are in a very different way, but aren't they?
Yeah, I guess. I think Seth maybe only kills if he needs to kill. I don't think he gets pleasure of murdering. Where I feel like Richie gets pleasure from killing folk.
Gets hard on, doesn't he?
Totally. Even just the way they just the way they deal with the attendant once the shout starts. Like, Richie's just firing like a nutcase, whereas Seth is so cool, just the way he like knocks the shelf, liquid falls, Richie passes in the toilet and he just makes like a molecule. It's so skillfully done, so you can tell that he's intelligent.
Oh yeah, he's definitely intelligent, isn't he? Yeah.
Do you know what I did notice though? I only noticed it when we were at the screening. Was there's a big pile of popcorn, right? Just to the side of the counter, and once they set the place on fire, and then the guy jumps out from behind the bar and they shoot him, he lands in the popcorn, and then you see it all popping off. And obviously you've got that. I think that's like maybe a Tarantino thing. Maybe it's a Rodriguez thing, actually. I'll give Rodriguez his credit as well. But I just thought, we're in, especially watching at Queen's Park, it's this like cinema experience. There's literally popcorn going off on the screen and stuff. It was movie magic.
It's movie magic, man. I could watch it again right now.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. Granted, like Richie, he is, like you said, he's clearly psychotic. And it's amazing because he annoys me a bit. It infuriates me just how, what's the word I'm looking for?
He's got like no care.
No care. What's the fucking word?
He's obviously psychotic, but like he's no wariness.
Yeah.
Like, what he's causing.
What he's causing.
Even though he's a psychopath, and as you said, to learn their own way, you root for them. You want them to succeed. So even though, like, I mean, I take it from him, he's like a rapist, a murderer, God knows what else he is, but you still root for them.
And that's even early on. You're rooting for them.
But it's weird because he's fucking it up. And you're like, you're going to get caught. But we should be, and that's why we get annoyed at him, because he's going to get them caught.
Yeah.
But we should be rooting for them to get caught.
We should be, but we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that actually touches on one of my points is, and this is, I know we've not really been into the other characters who come into the film, and obviously the flip and everything. But these guys are sort of our antagonists, protagonists for this film.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fucked up thing.
Yeah. Because we start on them, we automatically start rooting for them because that's the only people we've been introduced to.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced to the family that they hold hostage. And I guess in a way they become our protagonists. And then the Gecko brothers get put on the back burner slightly because we do want this family to escape them. And then by the time we get over to the midpoint, the family and the brothers are the protagonist.
And that is brilliant.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's almost like they've just took the kind of rules filmmaking script right and then just went, nah, fuck this.
Throw it out the window.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah. It's good. It is. So what do you think then of how the family's introduced?
Well, that's kind of another point, bringing them in. One thing I kind of took away from it, everyone who you see in this film is everyone is just in the wrong place at the wrong time. From the hostage at the start, who obviously what happens to her with Richie, man, it's horrifying, but it's done so skillfully by Rodriguez. You don't see anything. You just see a little snippet of the aftermath, and it's just like blended into that. Richie, what's wrong with you?
And that's what I mean with, like, I don't think Seth Gecko wants to kill unless he has to.
Yeah.
Because he sits the hostage down and he's like, don't move from this chair, don't make a sound. Like, he talks about the gun, he's like, this is Mr. What's the gun again? Like this is Mr. like Colt Python, it's not that, but and he's 5 friends.
Oh, 6 friends and they all run faster than you.
Yeah, so he does that and he does terrify her, but he's like, you stay here, you don't say anything, you'll be fine. And we've already seen how psycho Richie is, and the camera cuts to him and he's just like that, he's like sticking his glasses up onto the bridge of his nose and he's like, he's mental looking, and you're like, I cannot believe she's getting left with this man. And then it's the way he just like goes and sits in the bed and he like taps the edge of the bed and he's like, come on, sit down, you don't want to watch TV? Come on. And you know she's not got a choice.
No.
But then when Seth comes back in, and the way we show that she's missing is he gives a burger to Richie. Same burgers that they have in Pulp Fiction, by the way.
Kind of burger.
And then he goes to eat one and realises he's still holding a burger for her and he's like, where is she? And then he opens the door and the camera stays on him and you just see his face drop. And then you get these like frames, as you said, flipped into the shot.
Stitched in there, aye.
And you just, you picture it.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
It's like less is more.
Yeah, totally. And it'd be, I think, through the entire film, well, let's take this to the first half. It would be amazing to, and I know obviously it was written by Tarantino, but it's like how much influence does he have over it? But then they two they're quite similar, both as filmmakers. I think that it would be amazing to have been there and just hearing the two dishing out the ideas. I can't imagine Tarantino being the kind of guy who would just sit back, not say anything, and in a collaborative way. Because I know Rob Rodriguez as a director is supposed to be very collaborative. He's supposed to be like open to all suggestions by people.
So I do think the film's interesting because I think it has got a Tarantino stamp over it, but I don't see it being like him taking charge. I feel, so here's what's interesting, right? It's very stylistic for 75% of the film, right? That even just like that garage attendant scene, all that's cool. The stuff with the trailer and all that, right up until they arrive at Titty Twisters. Right? But I think the uniqueness and the shots and stuff like that goes out the window after Tarantino is killed.
That's interesting.
And I think that's because he's now no longer on set to whisper in Robert Rodriguez's ear. So like Robert Rodriguez could be, and I would take, I would take ideas from Tarantino, right?
Oh, aye.
But I feel like it's like Rodriguez is setting up the shot and working out to do it, and maybe Tarantino's like, Robert, see if you do this, it'll work better, and gives him a wee idea, and he's like, great, yeah, we'll do that. And then Tarantino's wrapped, he's out there, and it's all up to Rodriguez, and I feel like that later half, it's just a bit mental, and the camera's put anywhere, and it's just trying to capture it. This substance isn't there as much, I feel, towards the end, and that's not me dissing Rodriguez, because I think some of the stuff that he does is great, but I just feel like it does feel like it pulls away from the Tarantino-esque when he's not there, so I think he's not there to nudge him.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that though, the difference in the last like maybe 25%, as you said there.
Yeah.
I kind of want to rewatch it again and just focus on that. He was supposed to direct it originally, I think.
I think there was talks of that, yeah, but he was then at that point, I think.
And he plays Rich. I mean, because he kind of has that look about him where he's like, yeah, you wouldn't really be afraid of him. He plays it so, he's like a bit of like a kid at times. He's watching the cartoons and he's just like, obviously Clooney looks a lot more like tough and a lot more classically like, I'm a hard man, like no one's going to fuck with me, but fucking Rich is just an absolute fucking loon ball, man. And you said it before, it's like you do get annoyed at him every time. You get annoyed at Clooney for leaving him. You're going, why the fuck did you leave him? Oh,
but I think it's because whatever Clooney's away doing, he knows that he can't leave Richie to do it. So the only way
can't bring him away. He's just you're like, what's the okay? Yeah, because I guarantee there's a part of Seth's character that's like, fuck, I need to leave him now.
Yeah.
So he does, because I think he does warn him beforehand, doesn't he?
I don't know if I can't remember, to be honest, but I know he like once he sees it, he throws him up against the wall and he's like, what did I do to deserve this? Is this my fault? If I taught you to be like this, is that what you're taking from me? Because this is not how we do business. And that kid-like thing that you're talking about is interesting because they make him like a psychopath and then they do little things to make him like a kid. And you're like, I'm not saying you sympathise, but you're like, what? I don't know how to feel about this character, like the putting your mouth guard.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a very kid thing, like, putting your mouth guard today, it's like, oh, he grinds his teeth. And then even the part where, like, Seth has to knock him out in the shower because the cops come in. And then he's like, I passed out. And he's like, oh, you've got your glasses. Seth puts the glasses on him. And it's very, like, kid-like as well. I'm sure we'll go into it a bit more.
Yeah, it's a big brother. Well, who's the older brother? Do we know? Don't get matters,
I don't think we know.
I don't think we know. But it's like looking after his brother.
Oh, totally. Yeah. But then it's Richie. We find out in that shower scene. That makes it sound like a sex scene. But in that shower scene when they're hiding from the police in the caravan, the trailer,
the RV,
that it's Richie that's broke Seth out of jail.
I know. So it's interesting as well. You kind of like,
he's like, am I a fuck up when I broke you out of jail?
Yeah. He's not completely a fuck up. He's obviously, there's obviously a degree of criminality. He's not daft.
No.
He's just a loose cannon.
That's it. He's a hothead.
A hothead, complete hothead.
Yeah.
Which brings us to, I guess, the family, bringing him in.
Yeah.
So we meet Jacob, Kate, and Scott.
Who is, I'm not going to lie, fucking terrible actor.
He's piss poor.
See when he gets eaten at the end, man, it's so...
Kill me, Kate.
Kill
me.
Why did the cat? Yeah. Let's start with Jacob then.
So we meet the family. Jacob is a preacher or ex-preacher who's lost his faith after the death of his wife. And they're on a trip to, do we know where they're going?
Mexico.
Are they going to Mexico as well?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
But the only reason they're stopping at the motel is because the dad, Jacob, wants a decent bed.
That's right, yeah.
He's not happy.
Yeah, that's right. He's not happy sleeping in the RV. And again, with the cop, the guy, the clerk attendant, the the hostage, wrong place, wrong time. They meet the Gecko brothers and they are taken as hostages.
I think the Jacob character playing this priest, quite interesting for Harvey Keitel. He's usually the gangster. He's usually a bit of the hard man. He's usually the Winston Wolf.
Yeah.
And not saying he's not a wolf in this. He's still quite strong, but he's just strong more in an intelligent way. Like uses his head more than his fists or his guns. I believe him as the father figure, which is quite nice. Juliette Lewis is an interesting casting. I think we worked out that she's supposed to be about 18, and I thought she was supposed to be younger, and that made it Richie more of a fucking creep. But I think she's supposed to be about 18 because there's the scenes where like they're in the bar, in the Titty Twister bar.
She can't drink,
but you need to be 21.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, I'm almost old enough.
Yeah.
So that must mean that she's a bit older than, because when I first watched this, I thought she was supposed to be like, 16.
Yeah.
What is it that Richie thinks he hears Kate say again?
Oh, fuck. Do you want to eat my pussy?
Yeah.
And then Canyon, he's like, yeah.
And then
if you want.
Later on in the trailer, he's like, that thing you asked me to do.
Oh, man.
I'm happy to do it. And she's like, what thing? He's like, back in the motel, like, I can do that, And that's when, like...
You must just see every girl watching that just, like, shut their legs, just be like, nope.
Yeah.
Because it's done... And again, it's done, like you said, mentioned it earlier on, with the sort of... the psychotic nature of him, and it's like... He's seen this. This is his obsession of... abusing people. He's hearing this in his head like a psychopath would. It's like voices and it's like hallucinations. He's just like, he's fucking batshit.
Yeah. And I think he's a bit misogynistic as well, probably, which makes sense of why Salma Hayek is the one to kill him as well. Like, she toys with him first.
Toys with him. If you want to get like one of the hottest chicks in the world to, like, put your foot in your mouth and, like, make you drink liquor off it, just write a brilliant script and put it in there. Put yourself in there as well.
Right, so that is interesting, right? So, yes, we get to the Titty Twisters bar, Salma Hayek comes out. This is, I think, our first US casting.
Okay.
Or one of them. One of the big castings anyway, Tarantino's one of the next big upcoming directors after Reservoir Dogs. Look at it from her point of view. Like, it's like, I feel like that scene was not in the script until Tarantino took the part of Richie. And then I feel like he's like, Robert, do you know what would be a great idea? If, like, I was just sitting at the front and then, like, she stuck her foot in my mouth and then just pulled it, and then they decide to do that on the day, And then she's like, well, I kind of, want my career here, so I wouldn't mind working with this guy again. So yes, I'll stick my foot in his mouth. But it must have been pretty awkward for her as well. And she was scared of snakes.
That's right, yeah.
And she's got that big python on her as well.
I read somewhere that he said that Rodriguez told her that if she didn't do it, Madonna was going to do it.
And which was a lie.
It was a lie. So she had to go over her fear of snakes in 2 months. Therapy.
She did it.
Complete lie.
Although when she has Dance with the Snake, she's a bit rigid.
Well, I think that's the thing. There was no choreography because she couldn't work out how to incorporate the snake's movement because it's unpredictable. So I think he just says, just do it and be sexy.
Yeah. Just go with the flow, almost.
Just go with the flow. Like a snake would just slither and yeah. I mean, how do you feel about the relationship between the family before they get to the Titty Twister, and obviously they are jubilant in terms of getting there. Well, Seth and Richie are, but then you start to see more of the sort of, you start to see a bit of Jacob being, not that he was ever like a coward or anything, but he was kind of saying, we're getting to the end of this road here, and it's like, I loved watching the little intricacies of them actually
bonding.
But even before that, before they started bonding, that I liked the play. There's a bit of respect between both of them.
Between Seth and
Jacob, yeah.
I think you start to see that when Seth is going through Jacob's wallet.
Yeah.
And he's asking about, oh, you're a father? And he's like, yeah, I was. He's like, why are you not now? And he's like, my wife died. And he's like, can I ask what happened? He's like, no, you may not.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, it's a long journey, but you can see the two of them like pushing against each other.
Yeah.
And obviously, Seth's got his family, i.e. Richie, to look out for, and Jacob's got his children as well. So you kind of see, in my opinion, you see it start to bond there.
Yeah.
But I think it really happens when he calms Seth down at the bar in Titty Twisters when the guy won't serve him. He's like, this is for truckers. He's like, what, my money not good enough for you? And it's Jacob that steps in and he's like, I'm a trucker. Do you see that RV outside? Well, you need a truck license to do that. So that therefore is a truck. So why don't you serve me and my friend some drinks? And I think he calms Seth down. Seth then respects him, and that's when they start drinking.
Yeah.
Jacob doesn't drink, but he's like, you're fucking having one with me after that. Almost.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's around about that same time when that is maybe solidified, when he does say to him, Jacob says to him, are you so much a loser that you don't know when you've won?
Yeah.
He's like, what did you say to me? And he's like, and he said, you've evaded the law, you've made it down here.
Yeah.
You too big a loser to understand when you've won. That's a fucking great line.
It's so good.
So fucking good. And that movie solidifies that.
Yeah, and it's so well delivered.
It's so brilliant.
I think he says, yeah, he's like, are you so much of a loser? And he's like, did you just call me a loser? And he's like, no, I did not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking. Yeah, it's a great sign of respect there as well. And then I guess it goes that little bit further once the vampires and all that appear, that he's like, Seth almost has to help him find his faith again, because he's like, you're now maybe the person that can save us here.
Yeah.
So it's like, it really swings. He takes this old man hostage thinking he's a nobody. And then by the end, he's almost relying on him.
He's got, and I think that's a big thing for Seth. He's probably been the guy throughout his life that's never had to rely on anyone. He is his own man. He's probably never been beaten in a fight. He's probably never lost an argument, but now he's got to, like, especially after Richie dies, he's sort of got to go, right, I need to trust these people around me and sort of not play second fiddle or anything, but just be a bit more human.
Yeah. Not be such a hard man again.
Not be such a hard man, yeah.
Like, put his trust in others. Before we go into like more of the club stuff, the Titty Twisters, before we enter the Titty Twisters fully, I did say that I preferred the first half.
That was my next question for you, just to talk about that, yeah.
And I think it's because I just really like the bond, as we're talking about there, the signs of respect between Jacob and Seth, like how are like Kate and Scott going to get out of this situation, how we get to know them a little bit more. And for me, I still enjoy the second half very much, but it does go a little bit more silly. I feel like the whole vampire battle goes on a little bit too long.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the CGI doesn't hold up as well. I guess that's just a sign of the times, whereas everything is so much more grounded, and all you need is good tension and good acting. And I could have watched that whole kind of setup for another hour alone.
Totally.
And I think that's where I was like, oh.
Because you could say, I mean, no disrespect to the actors that are brought in to the second act, after the halfway point, but they are they're not as strong performers as your Parks and your John Saxon and that in there as well.
Yeah.
George Clooney's, I think it's one of his best roles. I think he's absolutely brilliant in it. So you've got, and obviously we know what Harvey Keitel's done, Juliette Lewis. I'm not saying they're subpar by any means, but they are just not as prolific performers. Yeah. Savini is great in it.
It's a lot of fun.
He's a lot of fun. He's a special effects makeup artist, but obviously he's a director as well.
Mm-hmm.
Night of the Living Dead remake, which is brilliant. They are a lot of fun, but they do seem like B-movie characters are just brought into the film.
Seem like Rodriguez characters.
Blend. Yeah, and it does work. But if you don't know anything about this film, you must be like, have I blacked out and I've woke up and there's another film on with the same guys?
Yeah. Well, on that note, it was destroyed by the trailer. It was destroyed by marketing.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Same with, like the same way Terminator 2 was, where spoilers for Terminator 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No!
Arnie's the goodie. because you could have had scenes in the Titty Twisters not showing vampires. Like, you know, there's
Totally, yeah.
other scenes in there that you could have used, but yeah, completely destroyed by the marketing companies again.
That's insane.
Yeah. Shall we go
I
into
guess it's just to guarantee that they get that money back, because then you're going in for like a vampire film.
I think you're going to then be disappointed if it doesn't come for like the last 45 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, but I highly doubt there's anyone. Well, I guess there's probably a small percentage of people who are out there going, I just love it for the vampire part. I don't think anyone out there's going to really not enjoy the first. How long is it? How long? When is the? Probably 45 minutes.
I think it's, I don't know.
45 minutes between.
Yeah, I think it's 45 minutes each side.
Yeah. So how much time do we have? Can you remember? I know it's hard because we watched it, a few weeks ago. This is a question for me as well, but what is the time frame between them taking the Jacobs family hostage and the Titty Twister? 20 minutes?
No, I think it's
25.
Say about half an hour.
Half an hour?
That you've got of that, I think.
So from there they go from the hotel to they're in the room for a bit, get in the van, leave, asking about his wife and things.
You've also got the border patrol and stuff like that as well.
The border patrol, yeah.
At Queen's Park, they actually put a pee break on.
That's right, yeah.
And that was literally as they stepped inside the Titty Twisters. So all that
clever,
all that pussy at this outside the Titty Twisters. What is it? White pussy, black pussy, small pussy, big pussy.
Many pussy.
So many pussies.
So much pussy. You've also got, what he says? He says, there's something deal, like the pussy deal.
Pussy for
a penny.
Pussy for a penny, if you can find it
cheaper than anything else. Fuck it.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Right, shall we talk about the inside the Titty Twisters then?
It's a marvellous place. Great if that place was real, including the vampires. How cool would that be?
I'll be very surprised if there's nowhere in the world that is named the bar after this.
Oh, that's got to be, yeah.
And it's got the themes of it and stuff like that there.
Yeah. I mean, all those characters turn up. You've got obviously a sex machine. I mean, that's your first hit. That is your first, apart from maybe the pussy. Cheech going on about the pussy, but the sex machine's gun just go coming out. That's like your first sort of inkling.
We're in a different world.
Here.
Yeah.
I seen Tom Savini as Sex Machine. No, actually, he was down as Tom Savini at I think it was Sheffield Horror, maybe back in 2015 or something like that. My ex Liz was down as, she obviously a special effects makeup artist. Went down with Andy Stewart as well, filmmaker. Yeah, you met him and we spoke to him, etc. But then he did a sort of performance as Sex Machine.
Right.
And his talk, maybe 10 minutes, he had the whip and all that as well. So he knew how to use a whip anyway before this film.
Right, yeah.
So he just went right in. He just blended right in. I think I've got the video somewhere probably in my Google Photos going right back, but it's him just like maybe a couple hundred people that just sitting watching him. He's just out. Superb.
Yeah.
Superb, man. A lot of great quotes in the film. Some of my favourite lines are for Seth in the film. I think he's brilliant.
The most famous one.
Everybody be cool. You be cool. So good. Brilliant, man.
So good.
Even he meets like the Jacob and Scott. He's like, so what's the deal with you? Like a couple of fags? And it's like, he's my son.
That's right. And then does he not say something like, he doesn't look Japanese? And he's like, that's because he's not, he's Chinese.
That's right.
I might have to cut that out if I got that the wrong way round.
Yeah. Oh, God.
See, just because we'll talk about the motel stuff and that again, Tarantino isn't the best actor, but his awkwardness and like edginess is what makes that character good. Like, I think if that was like someone who was a really good actor, it wouldn't feel the same. He just gives it this awkward, cold vibe.
He does, doesn't he?
And it really works.
It really works. Like, you know what, as well, but working with an actor like Clooney, this is where the stuff that goes on behind the scenes is probably pivotal, because he probably took a lot of advice for Clooney. And Kitala. The cast is fucking brilliant. Yeah. So there's a lot of performers out there, but he he blends in there, and it works.
Totally, definitely. And I think the pastor losing his faith is quite interesting because he's already lost his faith at the start, and you kind of know once the vampires come out, he's going to have something to do with it, being a father, being a priest. But what's interesting is he's already lost his faith at the start. Then his family gets taken hostage, so you'd think that would make you lose your faith even more. And it's just you as a man has to deal with that situation, not another otherworldly being. So basically, he loses his faith, probably spirals a little bit more with the situation, then has to find his faith again. So it's an interesting arc to take on it.
Yeah, I agree. What about Kate? We spoke a lot about her.
Yeah, I mean,
Juliette Lewis's character.
I think she's great in it. A lot of people think she was wrongly casted.
No, I can't see that. I can't. Why? Do you know what?
I think it's maybe because it's around about the same time as she went and did Natural Born Killers, and people kind of know her more for that hard ass. So then for her to play an innocent, maybe it's not as believable. I just for a performance, I think it is. There is one silly bit where she's in the toilet in the RV, and the cop, the border force is searching, and then he knocks on the door. She says, "Come in." He opens the door, and then she goes, "Do you mind?"
Aye.
Which is a bit weird. But also then he lingers with his eyes a little too long, which is also weird.
Yeah. So I don't know how to say this, but I always think she's got this quality about her that her face or everything she does, she just seems to fit into that gritty film, kind of type of film.
Yeah. I'll say something for it, and I don't mean it in any disrespectful way, but she doesn't get cast for her looks. Like, I don't think she's the most attractive actor out there, which I think is why it really works, right? Because I think she gets casted for a performance, right? And that she's not the prettiest 18-year-old.
Yeah, she's not a pretty typecast. Right? She's not a.
But that makes Richie more interesting because it's not as if she's like sitting there flaunting her good looks or anything, and Richie is like sleazing on that.
Oh yeah,
she just looks like an average 18-year-old girl, which makes Richie even more revolting.
Which the women at the start, same thing.
Yeah,
older women, as well. Again, that sort of thing. And I think her voice as well. I think she gets used a lot for her voice.
She's done a lot of voice work.
I think her voice lends through his film because she's from the south, isn't she? I'm assuming she's from the south. I think that just fits well into those kind of those types of films. I need to go back and watch Natural Born Killers. She worked with De Niro as well in Cape Fear.
Yeah.
You think of the people she's worked with, the
caliber,
the caliber that she must have got from these people.
It's good to go from Keitel to De Niro.
Aye.
Yeah. Just when we're talking about cast, I guess, then Cheech Marin playing 3 different characters in there.
I know.
It's so funny. So the border guard that we just spoke about that is searching the RV, the strip club doorman, it's all about the pussy, and then the main gangster Carlos, and that they're meeting at the end.
Yep.
As well.
That is mad. Is it what it says at the end? It's like what happened? Oh, it's like, we didn't know that. We didn't know.
It just looked like, we passed it a few times, it just looked like a cool place.
That's it. One of the quotes that made me laugh. Where are you taking us? Mexico. What's in Mexico? Mexicans?
Yeah, it's a brilliant line.
It's funny as well. So another kind of staple of this film is, I think, the soundtrack, that sort of Latino vibe, Tito and the Tarantulas, lends itself amazingly to this film. And I think Tarantino, I've heard him say in interviews that sometimes he will literally make a film based on the soundtrack. Once you listen, he'll have like this collection of films sitting there. Songs, and he'll listen to them and he'll be like, "What film what film would suit this soundtrack?"
Yeah.
Brilliant. Pulp Fiction's a great example of it. That's actually where I got that from. It was in the extras of, I think in the Pulp Fiction album, there's maybe an interview at the end. He talks about that. It's just how important music is to a film.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when I'm writing, if I don't know exactly where the story's going, I'll write
to soundtracks that are similar to the genre or themes that I'm writing.
Yeah.
So if I was to like go and write like a survival film, I might listen to the soundtrack of The Revenant.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm going to write something like Blood and Guts, I might go and see if I can find like the Cabin Fever soundtrack or something
Just
like
have
weird.
something like that in the
Just like in background to maybe just inspire me. So that when I'm looking through or reading it, I'm in that mindset. So it's not the same, but I can see where that can bring that inspiration from as well.
Yeah. You say something about Kate when you were saying like we've been cast like obviously natural born killers and she's playing that sort of harder role. Do you think it was because that's where they knew she would get to? So that's probably Kate's arc, is that she comes back a kind of badass at the end. She fights. She does kind of become that.
Yeah, she does become, and I think when they're sitting around the bar in the Titty Twisters and she starts having a few shots and stuff, I think she's getting a love for the life on the run. And then
it's kind of coming out a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, that rebel in her. And then by the end, we'll kind of talk about the end. So let's say they beat all the vampires, blah, blah, blah. Carlos shows up, gives Seth his money. Seth goes into the car and Kate wants to go with him. She wants to go that life on the run, that rebellion. And I think it's really intelligent of the script not to let Seth just take her along for the ride. I always remember that they did go together.
Yeah.
And they don't. And she's kind of just left there with her RV, no family, been through this traumatic time. But I still think she has this look in her eye like the world's her oyster now. And maybe, I don't think the film's leaning too much into it, but maybe there's a sense there that, having like a priest or a pastor as your dad would ground you quite a lot, and Scott is very kind of goody two shoes. She just got this bit of rebellious streak in it. Might be, again, good casting. Juliette Lewis looks like that kind of character.
Yeah, she does. It might have been something that was maybe kind of dormant in her throughout all these years. Now this has happened. It's kind of like awakened.
Yeah, but she also should be more traumatized. She's got no family left. Okay, let's even...
head up her arse, aye.
Not even just that. She just fought a vampire. Like, more than one. So that should be enough. But she just seems very... cool by the end of it. She seems very happy.
Yeah, which is interesting. I mean, Seth does say to her, I'm a bastard, but I'm not a fucking bastard. Something at the end.
Yeah, that is correct, yeah.
You do want her to get in the car or for him to stop.
So, because he turns round and strives along the road and you think he's going to stop.
You think he's going to stop?
I think everybody thinks he's going to stop. And he doesn't. And you could say, does that make him more of a fucking bastard that he's just left this woman, this girl, with no family and that, and he's not even going to drop her off at the nearest town or police station and that?
Yeah, on the ending again, some reason I'm just thinking the Cheech's face is Carlos. Like, just after this madness, he's just like, hey! As in, you're kind of led to believe a little bit in the film where it's like, these guys don't fuck about. These guys are fucking killers. These guys try and negotiate a price for them. It's not the price you be. And after all this madness, it's just Cheech, like, hey man, what's up with that? You're just like, what the fuck?
I know. It's also...
And he shakes her, he's like, 25, shake. You're like, what? So it's almost like, I don't know, it's not that the whole film is being for nothing, it's just like they are...
But it is funny with the Cheech guy at the end with Carlos, because he's also like, those are like some mental cases in there. He's like, they weren't mental cases. They were vampires. When did mental cases just explode or something like that? He says, he's like, oh, really? Like, he's just, so,
it's mad, man. And it's funny for like to see a guy like George Clooney and his character, that for him believing in this kind of thing is like a whoa, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And it's so good watching him start to believe, like,
yeah, because he's...
I can't remember the quote, the lines, but it's like, I don't believe in vampires, but it's a fucking vampire kind of thing.
He's like, I don't believe in vampires, but I believe in what my fucking eyes see.
I believe in my eyes see.
And that was a fucking vampire type thing.
And he is a guy that would believe what he sees. He's seen as believing, that kind of guy.
Carry on. Richie's death.
Do you think that came at the right time, or do you think it could have been a bit later on in the film, or do you think it was a good idea to get him out of the way? Because his art, he's not going to redeem himself. He's unredeemable.
I think there's nothing much else you can do with that character at that point, and you need Richie to go for Seth to kind of grow and rely on others and work with others. Because if Richie's still there, if Richie's still there, he's going to just work with Richie.
Yeah.
And I think so by killing him off, he has to then...
By losing his brother, he gains a family.
Yep.
For 20 minutes. Yeah, I mean, one of my points is the makeup. It's so funny seeing but I guess, do you know what, this is, I know Tarantino and Rodriguez are huge fans of the Grindhouse era movie, midnight movies. From Dusk Till Dawn, they said that was the name, and a lot of drive-in theatres and things like that would be sort of their advertising, movies playing from Dusk Till Dawn. So these guys have obviously grown up huge movie fans, but also fans of genre films, and this is a complete homage to them, to that genre. So you get two uber fans making a film like this, which is great. And then obviously practical effects in the late 90s were sort of being kind of starting to get pushed out.
Some CGI in here,
you know. But I think there is a little bit of CGI in that. But it's almost like a love letter to practical effects as well, having Savini in there.
I know, but I think some of the CGI doesn't hold up that well.
I don't think it holds up.
And I think it's interesting having Savini there, because he must be like, guys, we could have just done this practically. And he must have been sitting there going, what he's doing, why he's bringing in a bit of green screen here, you know.
Yeah.
As interesting. Let's talk about the vampires then a little bit more, because one thing I noticed is there's several different types of vampire in this. There's ones that morph kind of like Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
There's ones that just have the teeth.
Yep.
They also kind of they've got the old crooked ones as well, the ones hobbly, kind of witchy more looking ones. It seems like this film is also saying that there's different species of vampire in here. You've got the ones that can change into bats. Every vampire looks slightly different. And I don't know if it's just the makeup and Rodriguez having a lot of fun with it.
I think so, and I think as well there's a wee bit of a wink to films like Evil Dead.
Oh yeah,
Evil Dead 2 is, probably. But yeah, because again, that's a film where you're watching it, and you're like, all right, I know I'm getting a horror film here.
Mm-hmm.
But you're watching it, and then that switch kind of happened, and you're like, what? I remember the first time I saw Evil Dead 2. I think I saw Evil Dead 2 before I saw Evil Dead 1. And it was on Bravo, and again, I'm watching it, just going, all right, so, maybe a haunted cabin or whatever. But then it just turns into this mad, gore fest, practical effects heavy. It's mental. It's totally schizophrenic. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a bit of a...
Yeah, it's entertaining, fun.
Yeah, entertaining and fun. And maybe, because again, a lot, the creatures, you've got the freaking deer head, you've got the hand, you've got the witch in the cellar.
And Evil Dead.
And Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's a sort of,
well, you've
love
got,
letter.
Yeah, and it's weird because some even the fangs and stuff like that come out look more like a snake. There's some snake ornaments about. You've got Salma Hayek with the snake. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things there to do with snake. It's not just vampire and bat. It seems to be vampire and snake as well.
Yeah.
Shredding your skin type thing. And then you've got the big scene at the end, out of nowhere, where Tom Savini's sex machine goes into a vampire and then goes from a vampire to this rat-like creature. And it's what is going on in this film? What? that has no explanation in there at all. I still love it. It's just bananas.
Bananas, isn't it? Aye, and on that, is it Big Frost? Has reminded me Fright Night.
Yes. That's what I mean.
Makeup.
They're all very... Yeah. I love that scene where Frost is giving his Vietnam monologue, and behind him, Tom Savini's slowly changing. So his mouth starts to change, and then he covers his mouth it's like a child hiding something, and then his hand starts to change. And when his hand starts to change, he hides his hand just as Frost looks around, and he just gives him a smile nothing's going wrong here. Don't worry about me.
Fucking brilliant, isn't it? Was Tom Savini one of the vampires in the Kirsty Swanson Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I've not seen any of Buffy at all ever in my life.
So, guys, I'm leaving the podcast, right? Me and Gary's personal and working relationship is no longer attainable or able to work. Bye. So instead of still Gary, it's alone Gary.
I've never even seen an episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan. So yeah, I'll let you go. You redeemed yourself with that one. I'm not really a fan of Doctor Who. I've saw maybe an episode or two and I went, this is a pile of shite.
So I can't help with the Tom Savini Buffy thing, I'm afraid.
I think he is, but I could be wrong.
One thing I do like is, even though Seth and Richie and the family, Jacob and stuff, don't believe in vampires, they know the rules of vampires. So it doesn't have to be explained to them, doesn't have to be explained to us what the rules are. And I think that's kind of cool. We just get on with it as it happens. But also, like, the scene where they're trying to work out what weapons to use, they're like, oh, we could use steaks, garlic, and then they start having this, like, big discussion about silver bullets, if they will work or not. And then I think it's Kate, it's like, do we have silver bullets? Everybody's like, nope. And she's like, well, why are we discussing it then? It's just a great scene there as well.
And a good kind of for her to speak up in that, you know, she's a kid.
Yeah.
For her to stand up to, I'm not saying she's stand up, but she's feeling comfortable to put in her 2 pence worth.
I do think it's funny, and like The Walking Dead does this, and so do other things. And I might have spoken it in the podcast before, but once Jacob gets bitten, and he's like trying to help them, he says, "I've got about an hour before I turn." How do you know that, mate? Because vampires have been turning. Some have took like 10 seconds, some have took a few minutes. How do you know it's going to be an hour? And it's because the plot needs it to be an hour so that he can help them for a bit. That's the only reason. So that he can bless the water, bless the condom balloons, and bless them, I guess.
The Johnny balloons, great idea.
It was funny. It was funny. Although I'd be scared that I'd throw it, like, because the whole point of a condom is it shouldn't burst. And they're throwing them left, right, and centre, and they're busting. I would not. My excuse there is, they've been sitting in that warehouse for a long time, and condoms do have dates on them.
That's right. There's no condoms getting used in the fucking Titty Twister.
I know, but
no condoms getting used.
It's obviously all the trucks that have pulled in, and they've stole it all.
Yep.
So it's quite a good kind of way to get the weapons as well.
Sorry, guys, dog's at the door. Pippa, she's like, "Where's the pussy? I got all the pussy."
Oh, we need to speak about the rock band that are constantly playing. It just keeps cutting back, and they're playing body parts and stuff.
Wild.
That kind of reminds me of Lost Boys or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just this band going when there's like chaos and destruction.
Yeah, it's total throwback to those films. And I guess on that is, did you see Death Proof from Planet Terror?
I've not yet. I know. I've not seen it.
Death Proof. I mean, Death Proof's not. It's not a horror film, but
you want to cover it.
Terror. Oh man, I thought Death Proof. You'd love Death Proof.
I've not seen. That's the only Tarantino thing I've not really seen.
I think it's great. Okay, we spoke about it, the kind of homage to those films. Scott's wearing an Assault to Precinct 13 t-shirt as well in the film.
Oh, is
John
he?
Carpenter film.
Yeah.
So I think they're both big fans of that. What makes you said at the start you're not a big fan of Tarantino's work? Yeah. You said you're not a big fan of Tarantino.
No, I just mean I'm not his biggest fan.
Like
I don't know.
Fan.
Yeah, I don't know them inside out. I actually, sorry Tarantino if you're listening, but
sure he is.
I think a lot of inspiring filmmakers look directly at Tarantino, and I don't think a lot of inspiring filmmakers should, because what he does is so unique that why try and imitate that? Go and like make your own stuff and follow the other rules of it. Like, there's these die-hard Tarantino fans. Like, one of my biggest problems with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was it's not got a storyline. It's just a fly in the wall in Hollywood. So like, it's cool. Like, and you could probably sit down and I'd watch it again and probably enjoy it now that I know that. But it's not a film to study if you want to be a screenwriter, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
So that's just what I mean is, like, I think there's other interesting filmmakers out there as well.
Yeah, I think he's great. He's great with dialogue and he's great with characters. I think he creates really interesting characters, I think.
Yeah, I think he's totally. And I think his dialogue's really cool at parts as well. I don't dive into his work as much as
Yeah,
what
yeah.
other people do. Like, I don't drench myself in it.
Yeah, don't drench yourself in Tarantino like he drenches himself in that foot water. Foot drink for Salma Hayek. I mean, obviously, you didn't even done the Grindhouse, Planet Terror, so this kind of feels like a sort of precursor to those films.
Yeah, it's a good companion piece to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else to say on From Dusk Till Dawn? I mean, I think George Clooney's just so good in this, man. So cool. I think it's one of his best performances.
I would like to see him do more stuff like this, a little bit more unique, a little bit more off the cuff type characters, and take a little bit more of a chance in some of the work that he does as well.
To get, I mean, I don't know if does he do a lot of acting now. I don't know. He's obviously a mega star, but
I mean, he was in
I think
that
he directs.
film with Brad Pitt called Wolves. It came out on Apple Plus. I've not seen it.
Seen it.
Another note I've got is Rodriguez preempted an NC-17 rating because of the amount of blood and gore that was going to be at the end. So he changed the vampire blood to green and managed to get it reduced as well. What do you think of John Saxon's part in this? It's so random and small for like an actor of his caliber. I wonder how he got invested in this, and if his part was bigger and it got cut, maybe.
Yeah, I've no idea. I mean, I think I sort of it kind of reminds me like Wayne's World when they get Charlton Heston in. Do you remember that scene?
Yes, yeah. Actually, I do know you just said that.
What a scene, man! Because there is a lot of legends in this film.
What I've just noticed is
their career. It's maybe just like I can do anything I want.
Yeah,
you know, work with these two up and coming filmmakers, directors.
Totally.
Yeah.
What I've just noticed is we just did I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke a lot about Oscar winner John Hawkes.
Yep.
Who is the store clerk at the start.
Yeah.
As well. He's great in it.
He's brilliant.
He's also like he does all these parts. It's just a lot of small parts, but so like you've got him as the clerk in this. You got him as Ray's friend in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. He's handing out leaflets in Rush Hour when Chris Tucker goes in to find out more information.
That's right.
And then he's got big things like he's in True Detective, the newest season of that.
It's almost like he's got. I guess it's like that.
Peppa, go lie down.
Peppa's does as she usually does with me and just licks my legs and I'm wearing shorts, so I'm getting covered in Peppa juice.
There was a sequel to From Dusk Till Dawn. Have you seen it?
I saw it years ago.
Did you enjoy it?
I think I did, but you know, I thought I knew what it was. Is there not a third one? Is it just a?
I think it's just. Well, there might be a third one as well.
Might be a third one as well.
I've not seen any of them, and I've also not seen the TV show.
I haven't seen the TV show,
and I've heard it's really interesting. I've heard really bad things about the TV show. Like the first episode is pretty much all just in the shop at the start, the full episode. And I've heard things like they tried to make Richie's psycho behaviour something to do with being affected by the vampires being so close by.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just he's a psycho. And the last thing is it's made by Rodriguez again.
Is it?
So
didn't know that.
I don't think it got past season 1. Would you want another remake, or would you want another sequel? Would you want anything more?
Vampire stuff. I enjoy vampire movies, etc. But they're hard to really create a big impact with me.
I get that.
I don't know why.
I would maybe like to see something else set in this world. I think we've not really spoken about the very last shot where the camera pulls back to the back of the Titty Twister and you see all like the tomb for the vampires a lot more than what we've seen. You see kind of like other trucks and that have been left to be ruined basically. And I just think there might be like a prequel in there you could do. I wouldn't want to try and tie it to the Gecko Brothers.
No.
But I would like to see maybe something else about that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I would have absolutely loved, I think they're too old now, I'd have loved to have seen not a horror film in any way, but more about the Gecko Brothers. Just see that as a TV show.
Aye,
wouldn't even need to be Clooney and Tarantino again, but that kind of vibe, that, you know, nothing to do with vampires. Like, you could do a film just of them getting to the gas station.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know, there's
That's
so
all.
much more. Those two characters are so interesting.
Yeah, because I seen From Dusk Till Dawn 2 10 plus years ago. I think there might be more about the sort of tomb behind the Titty Twister, but do not quote me on that.
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
be making that up completely.
Would you rate it out of 5?
4.5.
4.5? Nice, that's big. I would give it 4. 4 out of 5. Titties, I guess. What I was going to go with. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 titties.
4 out of 5 snakes. What is your creative recommendation this week? Would you like me to go first again?
I would love you to go first again.
Okay. Mine is a documentary called Full Tilt Boogie, which is a documentary on the making of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh.
All the inside kind of information on like the behind the scenes, like where the original concept originated from, to casting, to Tarantino's involvement, to the full bar vampire scene. It's got a little bit of everything. It's quite a fun documentary.
I would recommend as my creative recommendation, not Weapons because I haven't seen it yet. But went and saw Bring Her Back, created by the makers of Talk to Me, the Filippo brothers. That was a good guess, that name. Yep, thought it was pretty good. I liked it the more the film went on, and I thought the ending was very beautiful. So that's my creative recommendation. Just thank you for all who continue to listen to the podcast, and let us know what you think of From Dusk Till Dawn. And over to yourself, Gary, if you have anything else you need to say.
Yeah, just a reminder, as always, that if you like what you're hearing, then please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page as well. You can follow us on Instagram at The Horror Cut Show, and we have a Facebook group where you can discuss the films that we're talking about, which is also The Horror Cut Show on Facebook.
Right, that's goodbye for now. Thank you, guys. And remember, if you can get pussy somewhere else that's cheaper than a penny, fuck it.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
We're friends to the end, remember?
This is the end, friend.